Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Erin Lee. You can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. Today is Sunday, October the 20th, 2013, and this is the Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading for Monday, October 21st to Sunday, October the 28th. So the way the Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading works is I would like to ask you to think about different questions that you may have. You can think about questions that you may have in different areas of your life. So for example, love life or career or life purpose and life path. So feel free to pause the video in a moment to think about those questions. And then what I would like you to do is choose a crystal to represent the answer for each individual question. So going through the crystals, your choices are aquamarine, malachite, lava, obsidian, citrine, moonstone, carnelian, red jasper, and tektite. So again, your crystal choices are aquamarine, malachite, lava, obsidian, citrine, moonstone, carnelian, red jasper, and tektite. So feel free to pause the video at this moment and think about the questions that you may have and which crystals would be appropriate for those. I'm just going to put these crystals in order because I have a tendency to forget which one is next. So, all right, and we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Archangel Oracle card deck for these readings today. So we're just going to give the cards a shuffle. Oops. And we're going to ask our angels for help and guidance in the coming week and to give us messages that are appropriate for each of the crystals. Go. So our first card is aquamarine. So the message for aquamarine is courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So the message that's coming up is that there is change that needs to happen within the situation you've been asking about, and it's calling on you to be strong, to be courageous, and to move forward and to push forward in this situation. It feels like you have been questioning or doubting or having difficulty in making a choice and making a step forward, and the message that's coming up is that now is the time to be taking that stand and to be moving forward. The other message that's coming up is that it's incredibly important that you're calling on your angels and your guides for help and support at this time, because it feels like this is something that is difficult for you to do on your own. So don't do it on your own. Ask for help. The other message that's coming up is that it feels like there is support around you within the situation on a physical level. So friends, family, and also it's also coming up that some of you guys have support in your work in terms of being able to take time off, and it feels like that's something that's needed. So if you've chosen aquamarine, it's time to take a step forward, and it feels like the step that is being asked of you is one that is outside of your comfort zone and is calling on you to shore up some additional courage. So whatever it is that you need to do to make that next step, know that you are fully and completely supported in doing that. For our people who chose malachite, the card that's coming up is victory. Your prayers have been heard and answered, and have faith. So the message that's coming up here is that you're almost at the end of this situation. Things are shifting and coming together, and everything is starting to fall into place. And this is particularly true. Malachite is an incredibly powerful stone that's dealing with the heart chakra. So if there's something that has been affecting you within the situation that involves emotion, know that there is healing and that things are really starting to come together and flow together. If you are having a difficult time keeping your faith high, again, calling on your angels and spirit guides and asking for help and support at this time is really powerful. And also asking for healing, health and healing. Archangel Raphael is really popping in with this card as well, and he is the angel of physical healing and emotional healing. So if there's any healing that is needing to be done within the situation, either for yourself or somebody else involved, make sure that you call on Archangel Raphael for help at this time in letting go of anything that might be holding you back, potentially holding you back or holding the situation back from being resolved. But knowing that things are starting to fall into place and that there will be a resolution soon. So hold on, you're almost there. For people who chose lava, the card that's coming up is passion. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. And one of the things that I find really interesting is lava is a crystal that I don't normally use that often, but it's a crystal of incredible transformation, and there's a lot of power and passion behind the creation of lava, and that it's coming up around the passion card is really fabulous. So knowing that there are transformations that are happening within your life, within the situation that you have asked about, and this is particularly true if this relates to love life or any career situations that you might have, knowing that there's going to be a renewed passion within the situation, and that there's going to be a fire that's building and burning, and so there's much more enjoyment that's going to be coming out of this situation as well. The feeling that's also coming up is that this is a time when you are experiencing not only renewed passion, but very quick and rapid transformation. So expecting the unexpected and expecting miracles to appear within the situation is really important. Also, not becoming attached to a specific outcome. Because there is fire involved with this situation, knowing that it can change direction and change course very quickly. So there's a lot that's happening within the situation. It's going to be happening quickly, and it feels like there's an underlying renewing of energy within the situation too. So that's pretty exciting. I'm just going to move these cards up here so we can still see them. So the next crystal was obsidian, citrine, and moonstone. So our obsidian card is, you know what to do. And it feels like this is very much a claircognizant card. Claircognizance was one of the cards, the first card actually, that came up in our weekly reading this week. And so particularly on Monday and Tuesday of this week, paying attention to the thoughts and the ideas that are coming into your head, you know exactly what you need to do within the situation, and it's time to do that. Knowing that you have the support and the motivation to make those changes is really important. And if you feel that that's not necessarily the case, calling on your angels and spirit guides for help, and also the people around you as well. But know that everything is falling into place, and that the steps that you need to take are the ones that are popping into your head. One of the properties of obsidian is that it's an incredibly protective stone, and it feels like there's potentially a lot of fear within this situation with making that next step forward. Again, feeling that this is potentially outside of your comfort zone, and knowing that you are safe and protected at all times through all aspects and steps within this process. So again, the angels are coming up really strongly around this card, asking them for help and support, and knowing that you are safe and protected at all times. In fact, one of the affirmations that's coming through for you is, I am safe and protected at all times. And family is also coming up as being part of this situation for many people as well. So know that it is time to take those steps. Because we saw this card, this message earlier, know that Monday and Tuesday are really powerful times to be making steps and changes within this situation. For the people who chose citrine, the message that's coming back is take back your power. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings into your life. And one of the things I love is that citrine is a card of clearing. So it feels like you're clearing and moving out stagnant energy from within this situation. You've already started to make changes, and it's time to step into a place of power within the situation. It feels like there has been a certain sense of helplessness, whether it's because somebody else has been calling the shots or there's something else that's going on. So knowing that you're stepping into a place of empowerment within the situation, things are starting to clear and become easier. Again, the angels are around us a lot this week, guys, because the message that's coming through is to really call on that help and support. One of the other messages that's coming through here too is it's important to make sure that you are grounding yourself and becoming centered. So whether it's through meditation or going for a walk or a run or yoga, but it's really important that as you approach this situation that you're going into it coming from a place of feeling grounded and centered, because that's where the biggest part of your power comes from within this situation. It also feels like there's a calmness that's coming over you, and so there's a releasing of emotion that's happening as well. So you know exactly what you need to do and you're stepping forward into it. For the people who chose Moonstone, gifts from God. So the message that's coming up with this is we angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. And this is particularly true if this relates at all to anything on a feminine, hormonal, menstrual, menopausal front. Moonstone is an incredibly powerful woman's stone, so it deals with anything that may be happening specifically for women, but even if you're a man or this situation doesn't necessarily involve women's issues, know that there are gifts that are coming from God, Source, and Creator, and being open to accepting that help within this situation. It feels like there are going to be a couple of changes, just slight things, or different gifts that come in that make life easier within this situation. So be sure that you're open to accepting help from others with this as well. One of the things that's coming up is that there is a financial change, financial improvement rather, that's happening within this situation, and being open to accepting that. Pardon me, also the offer of help is sitting there. So really make sure that you are open to gratefully receiving any help that may come your way, and allowing yourself to take any feelings of pride that may have otherwise kept you from accepting help within this situation. The other message that's coming through is that gratitude will also really help to move this situation forward. So it may be something where you don't feel a lot of gratitude in this moment, but take a look at the situation and find the things that you are grateful for, because as you come into a place of gratitude, it changes and shifts the energy of the situation so that you're able to move forward more easily. All right, let's push these guys up and bring forward the next crystals. Okay, and we have next carnelian, red jasper, and tektite. So for the people who chose carnelian, the card that's coming up is prioritize. Focused on your highest priorities, I will help you get organized and motivated. So the message that's coming up here is that it's really important to look at what's important in your life and make sure that you're spending the time where those important priorities are. So for example, if work isn't a priority for you right now, but you're spending 80+ hours a week working, that's not a good use of your time. and I really hope you're not working 80 hours a week. The other thing that's coming up is carnelian is very much associated with the sacral chakra, and sacral chakra is all about desire and passion. So making sure that one of your priorities at this time is finding the passion within the situation, or what you're wanting to do within the situation, and really focusing and concentrating on that, on the aspects that you are passionate about. But it's really time to start letting go of any time or money wasters that are pulling you away from the things that are important to you. It's really time to start letting go of those things. The other thing that's coming up is I'm really drawn to the golden bowl here that's within Archangel Metatron's hands. And what it's showing me is that sometimes part of the reason that we don't spend our time or energy on things that are priorities for us is because we feel that we financially can't. So know that as you start to make these adjustments, that your financial situation will change and improve in order to allow you to take that time for the things that are important to you. So it's time to start making, changing your priorities and making sure that you are living in what's appropriate. The next card that came up is for the people who chose red jasper, and the message that's coming up is leadership. It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So it's really time that you're stepping up to the front within this situation. It's time to take back a feeling of control, and it's time to start taking a very vested interest within the situation. If you have been sitting back on the sidelines, now is the time to really make sure that you're becoming involved. The other message that's coming up is that it feels like for many people this is a very foundation type of situation, and so finances definitely come in at this time, and knowing that you're supported in making these changes as well. It's really, really important that you're stepping into that leadership role, and taking charge of the situation. And if it is a situation where you can't necessarily step to the front and say, hey, I'm taking over here because of other people or situations that may be involved, it's time to be looking at another alternative within the situation. So no longer kind of going with the flow of it. It's time to really stand your ground. Right? And for our last card, Tektite, the card that we have is career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. And so it's really interesting. Tektite is a crystal that was formed when a meteor hit the earth. So there's definitely a lot of change and transformation that comes up around Tektite. So the message that's coming up is that it's time for transition and change within this situation, particularly if this is a question around finances or career. So the message that's coming up is it's really time to start looking at other options within this situation and moving forward with them. It feels that you've completed whatever it is that you needed to get out of this situation, and it's really time to be moving forward. If you're not seeing a way out or around this situation, ask for help and guidance. The other message that's coming through is being really open to new opportunities. So say for example, you've gotten into a pattern where you say, well, this can't change because of this and because of this and because of this and because of this. It's time to stop that because it's blocking all of the new opportunities that are coming in. So rather than saying it can't happen because of, I am open to new solutions, new opportunities, and new things happening to me and within this situation. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me. I'm Erin Lee. You can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. I really enjoyed doing the Choose Your Own Adventure crystal reading with you guys this week, and if it was helpful and beneficial for you, I'd love to hear about it. If any of the crystals really resonated for you, or if they didn't, please, drop a message or leave a note in the comments section. And as always, thank you so much for liking and sharing. And I'd like to wish you a fabulous week. Thanks for joining me.